has a, oh, okay, another question, then I have a question for the group. I got this. Great question. One of the neat things that I mentioned, for example, during my presentation is that Toastmasters is the safest environment ever to make mistakes. If you can get up in front of a stage or in front of a lectern or in front of the wait staff at the restaurant that you meet at, whatever, if you can stand up from your chair in that group, you've succeeded. The most important thing is to recognize that with the guests, okay? When I joined originally, it was Golden Bell back in the day. It was in Bellevue. I transferred to another group. We met at Romeo's Pizza. We were Chamber Club 540. Woo! It was a great time. That environment was absolutely amazing because as a guest, even though I was experienced within reason, but I still was terrified. I was terrified to come up here today. But the neat thing is that that particular group, I was welcomed. I was sat next to a person specifically to answer any of my questions, and I actually had a guest with me as well who was a total Toastmaster virgin, so she had no idea what was going on. And the neatest thing is that she was asked to do table topics. And the greatest thing is always have one or two easy questions, easy scenarios. It's a slow pitch, folks. That's the whole point. You don't hit them with in Article 512, Section 8B, blah, blah, blah. It has to be something like, what's your favorite color? Really? And it can cause that type of reaction, but then they stand up, and even if it's 10 seconds worth of an attempt, then they win. And that's how you grow clubs. That's how you immediately grow confidence. That's how you welcome people with your eyes and your clapping, especially if that guest was absolutely terrified. So even if it's just a couple seconds worth, always encourage a guest. And of course, if they're too scared to say anything, it's okay, especially as a table topics person running that particular section, to say, listen, it's okay. Thank you so much for being here today. And that's really the key thing. Welcome them, pet them, literally, but still give them the opportunity. Who has a fear right now about what they're doing in the organization? Something that we can address. Who has a fear, whether it's a type of speech, a book you're tackling, a situation that you're trying to figure out how to work it into a speech, anything.
Or even a problem, concern, whatever you got.
Catch this pen, or someone near, help, catch it. Hold that pen up. Hold it up. Hi. Stand on your chair. No, I'm kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a Sharpie. Okay? Now that just sounded cool. I just want to hear it echo. Sharpie, 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 Sharpie. The neat thing about Sharpies is next time you write a speech, and again, this is coming from someone who can't write speeches, so I'm just like, just pretend. The cool thing about a Sharpie is that if you take an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and you try to write your 14-minute speech in 7 minutes or less, write in big text. This sounds totally funny, but again, I work with children a lot, including most of my branding customers. I'm like, you're just a child. Let me teach you how to do everything. But the cool thing is that if you write with a Sharpie, you can only fit so many words on a page, okay? So you have one page to write your next speech, all right? Now, I want you to do something. Grab my business card, back of the ugly table. I want you to take a picture of your next speech, written in Sharpie, one page. That is your speech. It sounds weird, it sounds trivial, but if you force yourself to think in fashions of brevity or single words or single images like my card decks, things along those lines, you will become a custom tailored speech amazing person. Because then you don't have to worry about filling all those gaps and putting it on paper because it's already in your head. So don't write War and Peace, write the short version. So Sharpie, that's your homework. Give her the pen. Another quick thing. What is it that you do for your career? You're a teacher. Okay. Not the answer I wanted. I'm an engineer, so therefore you're boring. No. Whatever you teach, whatever subject matter you teach, take your next advanced manual after you get your CTM or whatever it's called this week. Once you finish your first 10 and you move on to your first advanced manual, take whatever subject you teach and do those 5 speeches around that world that you live in. That type of challenge will also make you a more dynamic speaker, possibly even help the kids even more. Not that they're like, why am I here? Anyway, but I mean, it will actually force you to focus on what you do every day. And I think that that's something that from the big picture perspective, people forget all the time. When Kyle Hall literally beat the crap out of me at Boeing almost 20 years ago and said, Brian, you're coming to a Toastmasters group. And I'm like, I don't even like toast. It was just one of the strangest things. But he got me into the group because the presentations I was giving on the CATIA CAD/CAM systems, talk about awe-inspiring, sucked rocks, okay? I'm not even an engineer. I'm a creative person. I was putting people to sleep because I wasn't presenting well. So he saw something in me, or maybe he just wanted the money in my wallet. I have no idea. I'm still paying him to this day. Residual income, baby. It's all about you. But it's one of those things where he got me into the organization and he forced me to speak about what I do even during those first 10 speeches. Because at that point I had no messages to pull from or no confidence to actually, draw out from. So I used my career at that point, which was totally the wrong direction, but anyway, it allowed me to excel in work because I was applying my everyday to the process of Toastmasters. So that could be a challenge for you, meaning a positive challenge to take on for your next round.